Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Friday, June 12th at 3:30, and we'll go ahead and do roll call. Jeff Flatt, President of the Board from Rainier. And looks like we've got everyone present. Go ahead and start with Shelley.
Uh, Shelley Hennessy from Vernonia.
Okay, and then we've got Tyler.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were doing my introduction. Tyler Miller, Zone 5, Board of Directors.
Okay, and then Brian, are you there?
Gianni, Zone 1, Class Guy.
Okay. And then we've got Michael Peterton is in the room as well. And then I can't see, let's see, Mark is in the room as well. Correct, Mark?
Correct. Mark Pacheco, Zone 3, St. Helens.
Okay. And we've got Danelle, Mary Jo, and I'm not sure, Nathan, who, go ahead and introduce everyone else, please.
That is who's here. Mary Jo Beck, Office Support Specialist, and then Cooper Operations Manager, and Nathan is on Zoom as well, Technical Manager.
Okay, well, thanks for the short notice, everyone. Thanks for squeezing this into everyone's schedule. And I think at this point in time, I'm going to turn it over to Michael for some direction on what's going on here.
So the district received a complaint from an employee, and due to the nature of the complaint, Miller Nash had a conflict. And since Miller Nash provides employment advice to the district, I had to go out and seek other attorneys to handle the matter. Sharon Peters, who had been doing some specialized work for the district, declined. And after actually searching for an attorney that would do it, I asked Karen O'Casey if she had time, and she said yes. She has sent her employment agreement, and that is what is before the board, so that Karen can be employed to properly advise the board with respect to the complaint and the steps necessary after the complaint is received. And then with respect to myself, because Miller Nash has a conflict, then I'm seeking authorization from the board to assist as necessary under my employment contract effective after June 30th. Right now, I'm authorized to do it because I'm general counsel still. But after June 30th, I'll need to be authorized to assist as necessary. That's the only things before the board today.
Okay. So I would entertain a motion to approve what Michael had just mentioned. I won't go into the into the word for word what we're doing here, but we need a motion in a second, and then we can have some discussion about it, and then we'll vote on it.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, Brian's got the motion, and maybe we can elaborate now on that motion. Brian, are you prepared?
You'll need a second.
A second, yeah. Let's get a second.
I'll second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second, and then let's elaborate on that motion. What's that look like? Brian,
Yeah,
Brian
sorry.
yeah.
Taking me a minute for my phone to kick over to off mute. So I'll make a motion to accept the agreement for general counsel as submitted by Peterkin, and authorization for Peterkin as to assist as necessary after June 30th.
Okay, motion and a second, and anybody have any discussion on that?
Yes, Mr. Chair, Tyler, I have some points that I would
Okay.
like to discuss.
Yes.
So First off, the engagement letter states that, sorry, one second here, I need to switch over to it. The client hereby retains attorney to represent client as legal counsel in connection with advice related to the current executive director's complaint about the working environment. The complaint is narrow in that it only specifically says that there's one issue and specifically says that it is 7.3 of the employment contract. I am concerned that this is broader than what the actual complaint is, which could give rise to some complications as this process moves along. I also, let's see here. I also have filed a complaint as well, and it doesn't say anything about those complaints that I have made being included in that. I am concerned about that and hoping it's not another retaliatory issue. I also take issue with Mr. Peterkin being involved with this too, because of the bias and other complaints that have occurred. So I want to put some different things on the record here right now.
Okay.
And I don't think it's necessary for Mr. Peterkin to be involved in this. I think it's another expense that is not needed. We can get our counsel directly from Hart Wagner.
Okay, is there any other comment from any other board members on this motion?
I would ask also that we ask for Hart Wagner to revise number 1 to include the other complaints to ensure that those are investigated as well.
Yeah, and Michael, I'm going to turn it over to you for that.
Well, that
give
motion
me
is not before the board yet, so this is only the first motion that's before the board is for me to be authorized to assist as necessary. My role would be limited, but it's normal. Right now, as general counsel, I assist, and then after June 30th, I can assist as necessary. That's the motion before the board, and it's up to you whether you want to call the vote.
What does
Okay.
as necessary mean? Can we define that? Are you coming to the board and asking to engage in billable hours, or are you just going to do whatever you think is necessary?
I'm taking on the specific role as defined in my current employment agreement and the employment agreement that is effective after June 30th.
Okay. So all that being said, I think we've heard from Tyler. I don't think there's anyone else that has any. I'm going to call for any other comment. Shelley, Mark, Brian, anybody got any other comment? Okay, hearing none. We'll go ahead and call for the vote. All in favor of the motion for Hart Wagner and.
No, that's not before the court yet, or before
Yeah.
the board yet.
Excuse me, go ahead. Please repeat that motion.
Really?
Shelley, go ahead.
Sorry. No, I don't got nothing.
Okay. Yeah, please repeat the motion and we'll call for the vote.
Mary Jo can read it back if you would like.
Yes.
So it sounded to me like Brian had authorized to accept the agreement with Karen O'Casey and for Michael Peterkin to assist as necessary after his June 30th. So if we want to split those up, Michael, what is it that you would prefer? Because
If that's the motion that's before the board, that's certainly acceptable. That covers both. So just to make sure that the motion that Brian made and it seconded by Mark was authorizing me to assist as necessary and that the board approves the Karen O'Casey's engagement.
Correct. That was my motion.
Okay. So motion second, discussion. We're gonna call for the vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
3 ayes.
I am abstaining.
And I'm staying. And then did we hear from Mark?
Yes, he said aye.
Aye. And we heard from Brian, we heard from Shelley. I'm just trying to make sure we've heard from everyone here. So, and I'm in favor of that as well. Tyler abstain. Opposed? I think we've heard from everyone, so motion carries.
So are my complaints going to be investigated then, Jeff, or are we just disregarding those?
Yeah, we can entertain another motion to
That's not on the
discuss
agenda.
that.
I'm sorry, but that's not on the agenda. And if you want to proceed, that can be on the agenda for the next meeting. But the only things that were on the agenda today were appointment of council. That's it.
Okay.
That's still what we're,
So-
wait a minute, that's still what we're talking about, though. There wasn't anything, to the extent that this whole thing was on the agenda, it is on the agenda. If you look at the agenda, it is on the agenda. You weren't specific in what was on the agenda.
So
This
Tyler,
is what I'm talking about with the bias and retaliation type stuff. I have a major issue with Mr. Peterkin being involved in any of this. I'm gonna say that again.
yeah, I think you've already made us well aware of that. So, yeah, did you send out any information, Tyler? I haven't seen anything on your
Yes.
latest complaint. Okay. Well,
Yeah, I did. I sent you an email earlier today. I'm not sure if you received that or not.
yeah, I haven't seen it, so I'll look again. So, okay, I think there is no executive session, and I think that concludes the meeting.
Well, I want to, again, I want to go back. So we're refusing to address my complaint. It is noticed on the agenda to the extent this same thing we just voted on was noticed. So I guess I'm just being tossed aside here.
Let me speak to that point, Mr. Miller. You're represented by counsel. So I'm not going to go further than to say that Karen O'Casey is being appointed to address the issues, and the board needs to hear from counsel before it takes a position. The point of this meeting was to appoint counsel. Counsel for the district has not prepared any response, has not taken a position. You're not being prejudiced in any way. We're here to appoint legal counsel to review this matter. And you're certainly welcome to make any motion at the next meeting if you so choose. But this was limited with its intent. And once the
Yeah, I'm
legal
within the intent. So whatever, I've heard your explanation. I don't agree with it. And I guess we'll deal with it. I keep trying to bring things up to stop the disputes and litigation. And at the right opportunity in the beginning for these things to be addressed, they don't turn into a bigger issue. You guys continue to ignore them. And then you wonder why things blow up. So
that is
anyway,
a false,
I made my,
that is a false
whatever,
statement.
I made my.
That is a
that's
false
my-
statement, Mr. Miller.
No,
It
it's not.
is, and I will tell you
That's
that
your
we're
opinion.
appointing counsel so that the council can properly advise the board and go
Yes.
forward. No one is
Okay.
doing anything at this point.
So point of order, I
agree with
think
that.
we can agree that we disagree here. Tyler, I'm going to look into that email that you sent out. I'd like to see what that's all about. And I believe our next meeting is, correct me if I'm wrong, is it Monday, the 29th
Correct.
at 9 a.m.? Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. Thank you,
Jeff-
everyone. We'll
Jeff,
go
I
ahead.
appreciate you looking into that, but the topic was we were to approve a agreement with Hart Wagner, just to be clear, and what their scope was. And what I was asking for, because it is all related, is for the scope to be clear and that it included my complaints. That was the only thing that I was asking for. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Meeting adjourned.
You too.